Hi everyone, welcome back to another tutorial today. In today's video, we're going to learn how to make this circle dress that has a funnel sleeve and some sort of color block stripes effect. If that is what you want to learn for yourself, then keep watching this video till the very end. I use the cotton fabric for both colors. Now let's head straight to the pattern drafting tutorial. We're going to be starting on our basic bodice front first. Okay, I have my side bust dart, my waist dart, all the way to the hem of the dress. Now I'm going to be extending my bust apart measurements all the way to the hem. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do want to subscribe. Click the bell notification icon so you'll be the very first person to know whenever I post lovely tutorials like this. So I'm going to join it together and this is what it looks like. All right. Now going over to the neckline, like I said, it was in the basic, like as if you want to make a shirt. So I want to modify it, sort of deepen it. So I'm just going to be going inwards by ½ inch on the shoulder and also the depth by ½ inch. And I'm going to be joining that together, which is going to be our new neckline for this particular dress. So having done that with my scissors, I'll go ahead to cut it out. Now I'm going to be cutting on that bust apart measurement line. You want to cut on that line all the way up. So we're going to be cutting, as you can see, I've gone past my waistline and we stop at the bust line. Can you see? This is what your pattern should look like at this point. I like to flip it over so I can cut open my side bust dart. So when you cut open your side bust dart, the next thing you're going to do is, of course, you want to turn it around, whichever way you're going to do it so that it's easier for you to work with. I'm going to be closing the side bust dart right now. I'm going to have to close it. Of course, I'm going to use a sellotape to hold it down firmly so it doesn't move around. So when you close it, naturally this line is going to open up, or this gap is going to come in because you've created a flare. All right, you've transferred the dart, you've created a flare, so this line automatically is going to be there. Now what we want to do is to take measurement of this gap. So whatever measurement you have, keep it at the back of your mind. You'll be needing it when you're drafting that of the back. I'll go ahead to use papers to fill this up, especially this space. Remember, we want to add straps, right? We want to find a way to add the straps so they are going to be neat and they're also going to be conforming to the fit of the design. It's going to look as if the fabric came in that way. So we're trying to do that or see a possible way to do that to come out as neatly and as beautiful as possible without so much stress. So I'm going to add fresh pattern papers and I've taped it down. As you can see, it's looking very flat and nice. Now I'm going to be cutting out the excess parts of that pattern paper that we do not need so we can work with just the patterns that we need. So at this point, this is what we have. All right. Now the next thing we are going to do in order to get that strap effect is this. I'm going to be marking 1.5 inches upwards like so. I'm going to be marking 1.5 inches. Please, you want to pay keen attention or close attention to what I'm doing now. I'm marking 1.5 inches all the way like so, like all the way across 1.5 inches. So having done that, I'll join the dotted points together. Now remember, we have 4 straps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Baby pink, rose pink, baby pink, rose pink. 2 rose pink, 2 baby pink. So I'm going to be making this 1.5 inches 4 times. So this is the second one that I'm marking right now, 1.5 inches. And I'm going ahead to mark the third one, the third 1.5 inches. And of course, I'll go ahead and mark the fourth one in the same manner. Then I'll join all the dotted lines together. So you want to label that this is your center front. I'm also labeling baby pink, rose pink, whichever one it is for you. I'm going to be labeling whatever color it is you're using. You want to label to make sure. And I also number them 1, 2, 3, 4. Very important. So you don't use number 3 and put where number 2 is, or number 4 and put where number 1 is. You will lose the fit of your garment. So now I'm going to be separating this side from this part of this pattern. Now the next thing I'm going to do now, I just use an arrow to indicate that this is the up part of it. All right. Whatever thing you're going to do, whatever labeling you will use to help you remember that this is what should come in first, this is what should come in later, or this is where to sew up, this is where not to sew up. Whatever you're going to do, just do it. Label it that way so you do not forget. So I'm going to have to separate these patterns one after the other. So this is what they all look like. I labeled center front, so I'll know that I'm working with my front pattern and I'm cutting it on fold. So this is what the front pattern look like, and I'm going to be cutting it on the fabric right away so you do not forget. Now I have my fabric folded into 2, as you can see. I'll go ahead and place that very pattern on top of it. This one, we are going to be placing it on top of it. Now I kind of tilted the front part of it to add more fullness. If it's optional, you can decide not to do this, but I had to do it because I needed more fullness. I don't want mine to be, I want mine to be so full. I want the flare to come out well, so I had to add more fullness at that front part of it. Now we are going to be cutting the rose pink, which is actually number 1. Because I tilted the front part of my original pattern, let's put it that way, I had to add some space to the center front of number 1. And I'm going to be adding some space to the center front of the whole of number 1, 2, 3, 4. So they conform to that original or that bigger pattern of the front. I hope you understand. So that's why you're seeing that space at the center front, all right? So this is my number 1, which is rose pink, and I'll cut number 2, 3, 4 in same manner. All right, I'm going to cut 2, 3, 4 in same manner. I'm just using a little bit of allowance, about 0.4 or 0.3 inches, that I'll be using to sew them up or join them together, and we'll be seeing how to do that as we go on in this tutorial. If this tutorial has helped you so far, or if you've learned something, please do not forget to like this video, share it to other sewing platforms so that others can benefit from it. Also drop a comment in the comment section if there's anything that you need me to clarify you about. So now this is the back pattern, and the technique is just the same thing for the front and the back. The neckline is in the basic. This is my waist dart, of course, for the back. So we're going to be extending the bust about measurement all the way to the hem. Like I said, the technique for the front and back is the same thing. So if you did not get it clearly for the front, of course, you're going to be getting it right now as we are working on the back. So I'm going to be using my ruler to join those points together. And if I want to see the way I'm going to be working on the back right now, there's a slight difference here. I'm going to be cutting from the bit and on top of the bust about measurement line. I'm going to be cutting all the way. And when I get to the bust point, I'm going to be cutting on that line like so. Remember, we do not have a side bust dart for the back, so I'm going to be cutting this line like so. Right? So now someone will be wondering how much, like, what's the amount of gap that we're supposed to leave, the amount of fullness we're supposed to leave. That was why I said take the measurement of the fullness of the front. The front one, it opens up naturally. Once you close up the side bust dart, it opens up naturally. So that same measurement for the front is what you're going to be using for the back here. That number of allowance, that number of fullness that we had for the front is what you're going to be opening up for the back here, right? So here is it. I've opened that up. So the same 1.5 inches, whatever we did for the front, is what we're also going to be doing for the back. I'm going ahead to do that right now. So let me just repeat for persons that didn't understand. You will mark 1.5 inches from the hem all the way to the top. From where that one, you mark another 1.5 inches. From where that one stopped, you mark another 1.5 inches. You have 4 straps. That means 4 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 4 times, because we are making use of 4 straps, all right, or stripes, combinations of colors, all right. So that is what I'm marking right now. This is a whole lot easier. It's going to be making sewing this will be a whole lot easier for you than trying to sew it on top of the fabric without cutting it out like this. Trust me, is most times sewing it is not going to be easy for you. You're going to be sewing it and it will be having rumples and all that. But when you cut it this way, it will come perfect that someone would think the fabric was like this. Okay, so you have to be careful while drafting your pattern so the sewing is going to be easy for you. So I've gone ahead to cut out the 4 straps. Can you see? This is what they look like. And for the cutting of the fabric, it is same procedure for the front. All right, same procedure. Let's head over to the sleeve. Now, you know the sleeve is some kind of funnel sleeve, or some people call it bell sleeve. Some people call it bishop sleeve, though it's not gathered at the wrist, but it's kind of same procedure. This is what my sleeve looks like. You have the upper arm, the elbow, and of course the wrist. Now on the center of the sleeve, you're going to be cutting on that line of the center of the sleeve. Yes, you're going to be cutting all the way to this top. Then you're going to be opening it up to add fullness so you can create that bell sleeve effect or funnel sleeve effect, whatever. Just open up like this and then spread. The amount you spread here is optional, is left for you. There's no standard depending on the amount of fabrics you have. So let's not forget I used 3 yards of fabric of baby pink, and the rose pink is 1/2 yard, yeah, half yard. So we're going to be spreading this out now, and I'll be using my sellotape to hold it down flat so everything lays out flat and nice. I'm gonna have to do that. I want to close it up to see the amount of fullness that we have. And I think for my fabric, this is okay. We'll go ahead now to cut out the excess papers that we do not need. Now for the sleeve, the same thing we did to the front and the back, we're going to be doing it for the sleeve. You want to mark the 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, all the way round. So if you did not get it for the front and for the back, here is another opportunity. You can use the sleeve to dictate what we did for the front and the back. All right, so we're marking 1.5 inches from the hem all the way to the top, and from wherever that one stops, we mark another 1.5 inches. We keep doing it that way till we get 4 lines. Okay. So here is it. I labeled also to make sure everything is in line. I labeled the colors that each of the lines represent. You want to do what to label the colors. If you're using Ankara and plain, whatever it is you're using, label it Ankara, plain, something like that. So you know which one is coming first, so you don't mix this up. If you mix it up, it's going to frustrate your effort. So make sure you label properly so you do not mix it up. Now we're heading over to the sewing, which is actually the very interesting part of it. All right. Now this is my number one, which is rose pink for the front. I'm going to be opening it up because I had to cut it on fold, including the back. Now I've placed it this way. This is the way it should be for you to sew. You're going to be sewing it in this order, and that is the way you're going to be sewing every one of it. So this is the front. I'm done sewing all the straps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see that? I'm done sewing all the straps. I haven't even given it a nice press, and this is what it looks like already. So we're going to be sewing both the back and the sleeve using this method. I believe if you've drafted your pattern well, the sewing is not going to be an issue. So here is my back. We're going to be placing right side together for back and front, and we'll go ahead to shaping it on the sides and also stitch up the shoulder. So after sewing the front and the back together, this is what it looks like. I'm going to show you the side. Can you see the side seam? Everything aligns. Can you see that? Looking at the side seam, everything aligns. No one is bigger than the other. So you want to, if you've drafted your pattern well, yours is going to come out this way. Okay, can you see what it looks like? And I went ahead to join the sleeves, and this is what it looks like on me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.